I'm Laurence Blank-Cook. I have been at Christ Church for 16 years with my husband, Charlie. We are raising two young daughters, Margaret, who's 11, and Sarah, who's 9, who have been coming to Christ Church all their lives. When I was first asked to participate in the video for the stewardship campaign, I was humbled and I was also happy to help. And I think one of the things that brought me to do this is that I feel called to give back to a church community that has given so much to me and to my family. One of the questions that we were asked to reflect on is how we have felt called to walk in Christ's love. And before I can talk about how I have felt called to walk in Christ's love, I have to talk about how many of you have walked with me over the past year in Christ's love. When I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in May of 2010, it was a very scary time for me and for my family. And there were many of you who were there to hold our hands and to help us through the particularly trying time that I had between my diagnosis and determining my treatment plan. And once the treatment plan was determined, as I began the process of treatment and the many radiation and chemo and surgery appointments that I had to have, there were many of you who were there with us. You kept my children entertained. You kept me entertained through all those appointments. You brought us countless dinners. Some of you even brought us dinner twice. You gave me hugs and encouraged me along the way. You made me hats to cover my bald head. You made me scarves to keep me warm. And you also prayed with me in centering prayer, and we prayed for healing, and that those prayers were answered. And after my surgery, I was re-diagnosed as stage 1. And all of the many things that Christ Church gave to us during this process and during this trying time made this year so much easier. And the ways in which you walked with us in Christ's love and gave us hope and gave us encouragement at such a difficult time meant so much to us, and Christ Church community has meant so much to us. When I think about walking in love as Christ loved us, and how Christ has shared love with me as I walk throughout each day, I reflect back to going to morning prayer when I was probably at my sickest. It meant a great deal to me to be able to connect with Christ Church and to connect with people at Christ Church and to be reminded of that. And I was very touched by the people who were there leading the morning prayer or noon prayer service, because obviously they are very dedicated. And they were always there. I met many new people who go to the 11 o'clock, who don't come to the 8:30. And it was so touching to me to build those new relationships. The ways in which people have been supportive, whether it's teaching the children in Sunday school, or someone that I didn't even know very well brought me dinner and shared her cancer story with me, and that just helped me so much. I would encourage anyone who feels hesitant to step back and think about what are the ways in which you should join in, because it's only going to be better if we all participate. And every single member of the community needs to give a little something, whether it's just an hour being a tour guide or helping with the homeless, spending the night at the Room in the Inn, or bringing dinner. There's always something, and there's lots of different people who can help in different ways. So don't hesitate, jump right in. The youth programs have obviously been one of the most important programs for us. It's easy for youth to at that time in their lives to turn away from the church or to move away from the church. And I think that the youth programs that we offer, whether it's the trips to Amistad, even the prayer friends that we have with Amistad, that's very important to me. When we think about stewardship as something joyful, as opposed to maybe something that you don't like to talk about, Charlie and I joke about how, stewardship is about giving, but a lot of the times people don't like to ask for money. And no one wants to, come palm up. But if you do think about stewardship as what joy can I share? I have such joy in my everyday life, and as a cancer survivor, I can definitely say you really do find the joy in the smallest of things. But it's so great to be alive, and I believe that stewardship is about celebrating that life and the joy that you have, and the joy you have as a Christian, and loving other people, and having the opportunity to share. So it's a new twist on stewardship to think about it more as gratitude and joy than it is budgets and how are we going to make the budget work. I'm blessed with a wonderful, loving husband and 2 beautiful children, and I have a blessed life. And I thought, as I kind of came out of my illness this past year, I wanted to give back to the community that has given so much to me. And with the stewardship, I believe that it's important that we all step back and we think about the sacrifices that we give. Every week the celebrant says, walk in love as Christ loved us, bring offerings and sacrifice. And when I think about stewardship, the time, talent, and treasures that I give to Christ Church, I wanted to share my story and to say thank you to everyone at Christ Church who has done so much for us, but to also encourage people to think about where their commitment is, especially in this economy and in our hectic, busy lives that we lead. For Charlie and me as parents, it's very important to show our children what are the priorities for us. And there's so much noise kind of coming at our children, and there's not much spirituality. And we want to make certain that they understand that you have to seek that out and you have to make a commitment. And that's one reason we felt called to do this.